Shalom. About to ensure I could be heard. Shalom. About to ensure I could be heard. Okay, if the music too loud, just let me know. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now let it will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." Okay. "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved." Kalam like how Bashmiel Shah Waha Wakakwadash. Double honors to the hopefully elect elder apostles. Slated to be saved, Lord willing, start with those at the Great Millstone Church, to the men, here at our congregation, over here at our church, my church. Shalom, those giving diligence, okay, and all true faith and sincerity, and to the men in general. As always, the elder brothers, teaching this truth. The elder brothers, you elder brothers, on down to the younger brothers, you younger brothers, teaching this truth in all true faith and sincerity. Shalom to the rest of you believers, you men, women, and children of the Israelite race, that are in on this faith. Shalom. All right, the faith of Yahweh Shemiel Shah, and ultimately to the elect, those that are about to go on and be found to have been in the house of David. So just some quick information, history I want to share real quick by the Spirit. And pretty much this is Ezekiel 3, okay, and 4. This is the scripture I'm reading, okay, the chapter when the Lord sent out Ezekiel to go speak to the children of Israel. Now, this is the 4th verse which we're going into. It says, "And he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel," which are the so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, "and speak with my words unto them." Okay, and it's another little point I want to point out in this too. For verse 5, "For thou art not sent unto a people of a strange speech and of an hard language, but to the house of Israel, not to many people of a strange speech," you see, "and of a hard language whose words thou cannot understand." So people that aren't Israelites, surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee. Now who is this being said to? This is being said to the Son of Man, Ezekiel, right? Son of Man, right? Now when you go into the word, when you go into that 4th verse, and he said unto me, Son of Man, and you see the title, so you should already understand we're going into Heinrich, Friedrich, Wilhelm, Gesenius, and new white people were the red people. All right. The Bible speaks of Heinrich, Friedrich, Wilhelm, Gesenius, and meaning in company, like the scholars and stuff like that, right? Knew and know white people were the red people the Bible speaks of. And I put new because Gesenius, what's known as Gesenius Chaldee Lexicon, which we're going to get into, which was written by Heinrich, Friedrich, Wilhelm. He went back to spirit world a long time ago. But anyway, but he knew that the white people, so-called white people, were the red people, that the Bible was speaking of. He knew that white people were so-called. He knew all of this, and this is gonna prove it right here. Now, when you go into this, he's a top scholar. He was a top scholar, and all the scholars now that pretty much that's commissioned to deal with this blue letter, they know about him, and they continue this work as far as which we're gonna go into what he did. So I'll slow down. But anyway, when you go into this Son of Man, let's see. You go to the word man. In the Hebrew, you get the word
Strong's H1.
Somehow it goes out. Let me try to play it again.
Strong's H120. Adam.
And it means really we're gonna go to the Chaldee Lexicon. Okay, when you go to the Gesenius Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon, it says what? Perhaps so-called from the idea of redness. All right. Let me see how I want to do this. Now, this is proving that the so-called white man, when you read this, going to read the part I'm about to point out, right? This guy, Gesenius, or really I'll just highlight this part. He wrote this Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon. All right, and we're gonna prove that real quick. You go into the history about the Gesenius Lexicon, because you need to understand this first. These so-called white people know that the Edomites, man. They know this is not a game. They know this real. The tops, they know this. They're walking around knowing this, and that makes everything else real. They understand that's real, because Jake don't believe nothing until the so-called white man approves it. Which makes sense, because you will go to him for the one of all things, meaning even your education, your belief system, because that's massa, right? Well, you're gonna see what they say right here. Now, when you go into this about Gesenius lexicon, the lexicon was originally written by Heinrich, Friedrich, Wilhelm Gesenius, 1786 through 1842, in the German language. Gesenius' influence as a master of Hebrew is widespread, which is why we go into the words, because it tells us we know that the Bible was written in primarily Hebrew. All right. God's word. God's people know as God. How's his word, man. Pretty much the instruction manual, the certificate of, or the receipt. It's like the receipt, instruction manual, certificate of the earth. Ownership, what's supposed to go down, how it's supposed to work. Proof that this was purchased. Basically this word proved his existence, and it's supposed to coincide with the possession being the earth, or the purchase, right? So that's basically that. Now, he was German, so he got into it, and he translated everything that he understood these words to be saying, which were in Hebrew, and German, right? So it says the German language. Gesenius' influence as a master of Hebrew is widespread. Now you go into the word widespread, right?
Widespread.
Found or distributed over a large area or number of people. Simply what? All around. We go into the synonyms: all around, all inclusive, all embracing. Let's see. It's another good one. Extensive. See, extensive. So he knows what's being Salaki. Turn this. He knows what's being he knows what's going on in all areas, man, in all facets, completely, man. All right. Omnipresent. See that? Now, when you go back to this, another thing I need to get is what a lexicon is for those that may not know, but we'll get to it in just a moment. It says the editors, so he's considered Gesenius' influence as a master of Hebrew is widespread. So everybody pretty much subscribes to what he says because he was a master of the Hebrew. So all of these scholars, these people that's into theology, theologians, etc. All these so-called white people that go to seminary school, anybody that's serious, they're gonna deal with what Gesenius Chaldee lexicon, right? Because Gesenius himself was a master of the Hebrew. It says the editors of the Brown's Driver Briggs lexicon refer to him as the father of modern Hebrew lexicography. And when you go into the word lexicography, so what it means.
Lexicography.
The practice of compiling dictionaries. And this is a good meaning right here. It says the principles, the editing or making of a dictionary. It says the principles and practices of dictionary making. All right. So they just put a bunch of dictionaries together. It's all about going into the words because they understood if this is God's word, which is in Hebrew, we need to really get into what is really being said right here to understand everything, because this book points out things, but it's in Hebrew. So you have to go into the meanings. So they will dive deep to do that. But anyway, now when you continue, it says lexicon. It says Gesenius Salaki. Gesenius first published a work on Hebrew grammar in 1817 before turning his efforts on lexicography. There have been various versions of Gesenius' work in English. See that? We have chosen to use the version translated by Samuel P. Tregelles, 1813 through 1875. Tregelles is most famous for his version of the Greek New Testament, though he also wrote hymns and worked with Hebrew grammar in addition to textual criticism. As mentioned in the section called "To the Student," which you can click on, it says Gesenius was a known rationalist or neologian. So basically, he's somebody that deals with sourcing things. Everything got to have a reason when you rationalize everything. That's how these Edomites get out. You can see the pictures of them here. John Locke, Plato, and the rest of these guys, man. Okay. They all consider rationalists, which really most Edomites are. That's just how they think. Everything needs a reason or a source. They have to source it. Think about this, the show Scooby Doo. They just not finna take something. They're gonna go into why this is, how this could be, they rationalists. And this goes back to what it says. A rationalist was a high-ranking fiscal officer in the Roman Empire. See that? This is something the prosperity or the prominence of these so-called white people is based upon, is predicated upon, is going to be, gotten through them being rationalists, which makes so much sense. It makes too much sense. you know, period. They're going to be able to prosper off of that. But anyway, and you'll get what I mean as I go on. But anyway, so he was known as that. He was also known as a Neologian, which is somebody simply, which it says as Tregelles refers to him, all right? Which is somebody who pretty much innovate. They come with innovations regarding language. You know what I'm saying? He's always pretty much up in the ante, which makes sense because it's a hierarchy among people. You know, you got more spirits that's into details and, you know, etc. But anyway, it says, though some of these rationalistic expressions are found in the lexicon, you see, which we're going to, and that's true. You're going to literally see these characteristics. This guy, Gesenius, Gesenius, or Heinrich, Friedrich, Wilhelm, Gesenius, was said to have. You're going to see it when you get this meaning, right, of man. But it says what? Though some of these rationalistic expressions are found in the lexicon, Tregelles was faithful to make corrections, which are enclosed in brackets. Now, it's a point that I want to make with that, you know, because you could say, or basically he edited some of the stuff he probably thought he was off on. Well, Lord willing to come back, because I can't even think about what it was off the top of my head. Now, when you go into Heinrich, this is who he is. You know, I'll pull him up. The so-called white man. You know, he's a Christian, Hebraist, Lutheran, theologian, Bible scholar. But the point we use him for is he got into these words, the meanings of things. And he's a rationalist. So he got to the source of everything, the reason and everything, how everything works, you know, which once again, the prominence of so-called white people was predicated upon rationality. In order for them to win and stay at the top, they have to source, they have to rationalize everything. Well, if you're better than everything, I'm gonna find out why, and I'm gonna put you at the bottom so I can keep, you know, if you people are cursed, I need to find out why, and I'm gonna keep you going through that, because if you're not cursed or going through that, you're gonna beat me, which is why you got the commercial set up, how they set up, and etc. You know, if people, if really in truth, if I got here off lies, I need to source pretty much that. Like, why people, how am I in power? Well, off lies, you know, hiding identity. Oh, it's really because people don't know who they are. Oh, they're cursed because they don't know who they are. I'm able to rule over them, and they're able to submit to me because they don't know who I am. You see? But hence, their prominence is based upon them doing that. So they will have to get down to what things really are, regardless of how they appear. How things appear right now is just a byproduct of them doing that, being a people like that, sourcing everything first. All right. Now, this is him, to say the least. All right, this was him. See the image? And it's spiritual, because I really like his I really like the Chaldee lexicon a lot. All right. They really give you the depths of understanding as far as what's being said right here. Okay, so that's him. And then it's the guy Samuel, another Edomite, you know. You know what I'm saying? See, source and everything, that's all they do. That's how they get down, man. They say you want to keep a secret from a nigga, put it in the book. Not Esau. Esau, he a man. So yeah, this is this guy. You know, so-called white man. So they really exist. It's not made up. It's all real. It's a real portrait, real image. Okay. Let me pull that up. Yep, that's him. That's him. It's a Dutch. So yeah, just another damn so-called white man, right? But anyway, he was they call him an English Bible scholar, you know, textual critic and theologian. And he also, in his spare time, he studied Greek, Hebrew, Aramaic, Welsh on his own. See that? And now he's a part of this, what's been commissioned to be this Blue Letter Bible. Now, anyway, let's get into Satan, straight Satans. Gesenius Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon. So when you go into that word, son of man, right? Because Ezekiel was pointed out to be the son of man. So Esau will go into why he's called the son of man, right? And he'll understand what was said right there originally to be in the Hebrew, which we can prove, even though when you look at it, it's going to be in the modern Assyrian text. See that? This is how it will look before it's put into what's known as English right here. This is how it looks. Okay. So, yeah, that's basically that, man. All right, 3 and 4. But anyway, you got that word right here. Anyway, you go into Adam, and he go into it like, okay, why is he called the son of man? Okay, this is what he's meaning. Okay, man. The Gesenius Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon. It says simply getting into it. Man, perhaps so called from the idea of redness. You see, perhaps so called from the idea of redness is how he's observing it. But then he goes on and he compares to what? In quotations, the Arabs distinguish two races of men. You know, so it's denoting pretty much the species, him being a species, right? That's what the Lord is basically pointing out right here. But you got different species of mankind, which is known as, that idea has been summed up to be races. You see that? So it says the Arabs distinguish two races of men. Look, one red, ruddy, which we call white, the other black. Look at the order. The Arabs distinguish two races of men. This is from Heinrich, Friedrich, Wilhelm, Gesenius, right? And if it was altered and company, you know, the guy Samuel, right? So it don't even matter, right? It says the Arabs distinguish two races of men. One red, that's the first one, right? The second one, ruddy. The second one, ruddy. So we know now red and ruddy, if that ever comes up, according to, you know, true scholarship, if you will, is two different things. But anyway, one red, the other one ruddy, which we call white. The other black. So red people, they understand. He learned that red people, it's a difference between men. You got the red people, right? And you got the ruddy people. Today being called so-called white people and so-called black people. And so basically everybody on the earth is so-called black person. Because ain't nobody really black. Everybody, we just have color, hue like everybody else, are so-called black people. Just like the rest of the tribes. All of the tribes are melanated people, man, of tribes of Israel. Just like the rest of the nations of the earth, they're all melanated. Right? Man, that's man. How everybody, of Adam come we all. When you look up Adam is basically being laid out to mean the species of men when you go into it. You know? What's being summed up today to be known as the races of man. Adam, we all come of Adam. Of Adam come we all. 2nd Exodus 6th chapter. Right? When you go into Deuteronomy 32nd chapter, when the Lord separated the sons of Adam. Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna get that. Okay. But anyway, it says what, man? The one red, other one red, ruddy, which we call white, the other black. So they simply know that what he simply knew that so-called white people are the red people of the Bible. Because who's red? Esau. You know, the other people was the ruddy people, the black people. which David was said to be. So that's also pointing that out, that when David was called a ruddy youth, David, well, he said right here, ruddy, right? It say the Arab distinguished two races of men, right? One red, the other people ruddy, which we call white, the other black. So if you're white, he's saying you're red. They know they're red, but who's red according to the Bible? And if you're black, they're saying you're ruddy. Or if you're ruddy, you're saying you're black. David was called ruddy, so David's a so-called black person. And Esau was said to be red, so Esau's a so-called white man. He would be a so-called white man. And they knew this, man. But look, but both these races are sprung from Adam. See that? It has neither consistent state nor plural form, but it is very often used collectively to denote men, the human race. A word that's in its totality, but you know, when you think of Adam, you got a species, according to this, man. A species of races. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much that. But I do want to see if I can grab this right here. I don't want to write this out. Let's see. Yep. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's cracking. Let's grab this real quick. It's cracking. Because they said it's never consistent. He said it's never consistent. Well, let's go to Deuteronomy 32 real quick. Deuteronomy 32 and 8. Right? Let's see if it's the same word for the sons of Adam right here. When the Most High divided to the nations, meaning races, their inheritance, because that's what nation goes into. You look the word up, you know, look it up real quick. Just keep this thing precise. You know, race, there it is. See that? You know, not a car race, but a what? And let's jump down right here. Each of the major groupings into which humankind is considered. See that? Ethnic groups, which results in certain pigmentations, abilities, you know, ways of life, mindsets, cultures, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But anyway, jumping back, when the Most High divided to the nations, races, their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam. So the nations are known as the sons of Adam, because of Adam come we all, right? He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. Now let's just see, because he said, when you look the word up, it's never consistent. Well, sons, bun, well, here you go. Adam, the sons of Adam. And we go back to this word, Adam, which was what Ezekiel was called, a son of Adam, right? Son of man. But we know now that Adam is denoting one that comes from, you know, this species of mankind, in which you have two races laid out on the earth. You got the melanated people, right? And then versus the unmelanated people, which would be the red people, which he said today is who they call white and black. And then it go even deeper, because amongst those people, you got different species of melanated people. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, and then all the red people, the same people, even though they different places and stuff like that. You got, you know, Amalek, you know what I'm saying, etc. Right? But they all Edomites. But anyway, it's the same word. When you go into the sons of Adam, he separated the sons of Adam, right? It's the one that he called Ezekiel, right? In 3 and 4. Hebrews Strong's H120, right? And this is the same one for what the word is right there in Deuteronomy 32 and 8 for sons of Adam. Strong's H120. And we're gonna jump down. Let's see if it changed. You see, and there it go. It says Adam, ruddy, an example, a human being, an individual order species. You see, mankind. All right. And when you go into our man, you know, our man Heinrich, it just says what it is. You see? So when he separated the red people, if you will, who, you know, the people that, you know, this is what you get, man. When he separated white people and so-called black people, unmelanated people versus melanated people. You know, he set the bounds according to the children of Israel, which is true because Esau was 100% on the scene. Because if he's talking about when he did that according to the number of the children of Israel, that's pretty much just alluding to when Israel was on the scene. And Israel's not on the scene without Esau being on the scene because Israel was a twin. He was a fraternal twin. See that? So when he separated, right, the races of men, red people from ruddy people, which we call white, the other black. So this man knew that so-called white people are red people, man. They're the red people. And who's the red people? Esau, man. So it's just that simple. Okay? It's that simple. It's over with. Now, he knew. He knew, man. He knew they was the red people. Okay? Tie this home just in case. Got people that don't get it. Genesis 25. Isaac's sons. Okay? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations, 2 races, you see, are in thy womb. Not one, if they're the same thing, they would have been named one. It's 2 races, man. Crazy. And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red. You see, all over like a Heinrich garment. And they call his name Esau. So that's the red people of the earth. And after that came his brother out. His hand took hold on Esau's heel. They don't depict how he looks. Because he was ruddy. He was regular. Everybody on earth is either ruddy, right? Black, melanated, or red, which today has been known as white people and so-called black people. But the term black has been put upon the top so-called melanated people. The top so-called black people, which is us so-called Negroes on down to the Latinos and Native American Indians. Ham damn near blacker than us, but they don't put that on them. Because they denoting what right here really, Esau and Jacob, man. You can receive it. But yeah, when you go back, it says, and after that came his brother out. His hand took hold on Esau's heel. His name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 60 years when she bred him. So these mugs know, man. They know. They went into it and found this out. They know. Adam, the son, 2 sons of Adam. One, you either red or ruddy, which we call white, the other black. They know they Esau, man. They know. They know. They know. I'm going to give one more. Call on like how box me outside. Genesis 30. Look, Esau moves. Genesis 36:1. A chapter dedicated to this man. Now these are the generations of Esau, who was Edom. He gave birth to more people like him. You jump down. This is verse 9. Descendants of Esau. See, and these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. And what does Edom mean? Red. See? Esau is a son of Adam. He's the red son, which we call white. They ain't gonna say this, man. But it's too late because it done came out now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this and close this out. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna play this. That's funny. Play this.
That's interesting. That's a fact. Right.
It's more internet, man.
Black people are more respected outside of America than they are in America.
That's a good point.
That's
ruddy people, right? Because you look at these people, they're not ruddy. They're not black. She's ruddy, so which is a brownish, maroonish hue. The undertone. You know, she's ruddy. You can look up a ruddy cow. This guy not white. He red, man. Which we call white and black.
That's interesting.
That's a
fact. Right.
It's more so of black people not knowing who they are. The reason we struggle as black people is because we don't know who we are.
Say that.
And so, I mean, if you want to be quite frank about it, white people know who we are. That's why they keep fucking kicking it. White people know who we are. That's why they keep fucking kicking it. White people know who we are. That's why they keep fucking kicking it.
Yep, they know. They know. I wasn't planning to play that. You know, I was going to do a little repost on that, but it's in season, you know? So the Arabs distinguish two races of men. One red, ruddy, which they subscribe to, obviously, because you put it, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have real scholarship. They see it to make sense, which we call white, the other black. So white people, yes, this so-called white man, so he understands himself to be a red man, the red man, Esau. So yes, white people do know who you so-called black people are. You're the ruddy people, hence David, you know? They know this. Let me get this one last scripture, I'm going to move on. You know? It's David's son, Solomon, said he was black, but comely. You see? This is 1 Samuel 17 and 42. And when the Philistines looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy. See, David was ruddy and of a fair countenance. So David was what? The Arabs distinguished two races of men. He's a son of Adam, but it says the Arabs, which is what David was, the Arabs distinguished two races of men, one red, the other one ruddy. See, one red, ruddy, which we call white, the other black. David was ruddy. David is said to be ruddy right here. So that means what? You know, when the Philistines looked about, 1 Samuel 17 and 42, and when the Philistines looked about and saw David, King David, the Jew, so-called, you know, the Jew of Israel, man, King David, man, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy, you see, and of a fair countenance. See that? So David, a so-called black man. So yes, so-called white people do know who you so-called black people are. You're the ruddy people, hence David. You know, you're the Israelites. And he had a son, you know, that was said to be black. This is a Song of Solomon 1 and 5. I am black. You see? But nobody, the black people is known as the ruddy people. Going back. One red, other ruddy, which we call white, the other black. See? He was ruddy. He wasn't black, but comely, O you daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar's curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keepers of the vineyards, but mine own vineyard have I not kept. So they know he wasn't black. They know he was ruddy. But you so-called black people, that's who you are, man. You're actually just ruddy. So yeah, so-called white people know who you are. All right. But let me get this. I'm gonna close out. Fairly simple. He know that man knows who he knows so-called white people are the red people the Bible speaks of, Esau. And he knows so-called black people are ruddy people that the Bible speaks of, the Israelites. They know, man. They know that Esau, they know us so-called blacks are Jacob, man. Because no one else has that term put on them but us. Ham don't relate with being black. Ham is just Somalian. Ham is Kush. Ham is, you know, they ain't suffer those colored things, man. You know, because they know, man. But anyway, this is Ezekiel 28 and 3. It says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from me. Yeah. You know? Esau get into it. These people get into it, man. They know what's going on. You know? They know. They knew, and they still know to this day, and all these scholars know, man, so-called. Psalm 64 and 6, they search out iniquities. They search out iniquities. They search everything. They accomplish a diligent search. You see, they very diligent, both the inward, You know, they make haste to do this because once again, their prominence, when you look up the word prominence, is based upon, it relies solely upon them being rational. You know, them ruling over us is due to their rationality, which is simply what? Them ruling over us while we're cursing, killing each other is simply due to what? Their rationality, which is basically understanding where the Israelites, how to keep us in that situation to where we're too focused on being cursed and playing out the curses to where we'll never even surpass them. We won't wake up. Who shall rouse him up? It won't be Esau. He gonna make sure you stay asleep, man. You know, all their prominence is based upon rationality. They're rationalists. You know, they search out they search out iniquities, why things happen, forensics and all this. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. You know, you can't make this up, man. Psalm 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. They go so deep into it. You know, they end up exposing too much. That's so much of their nature. They end up telling on themselves. And now this information is out that what Heinrich, Wilhelm, Heinrich, Friedrich, Wilhelm, Gesenius knew so-called white people, because it's even showing it to you like that, are the red people that the Bible speaks of, man. And by default, they obviously gonna know who we are. They're gonna rationalize why we're so good, you know, and why they hate us so much. They know they Esau, so they a lot of them take on that hate intentionally because they know they Esau and they know you, Jacob. They like, oh, I'm supposed to hate you, you know, which we call white, the other black, meaning denoting is so-called. You know, it's two races of men, one red, one ruddy, which we call the other white, the other black, meaning what? That everyone knows these are just fake. These are social constructs. They're fake. It's all so-called, man. No one's white. No one's black. You're more so red and you're more so ruddy. And they know that, man. And he knew this. They learned this. They discovered this. That's why they go out of their way to call us black and themselves white. But see, all that shall flee away. So they're cut now. This is Psalms 20:5. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. Yeah, their heart's deep, but we're gonna get into why. You know, we're gonna figure out what's going on here, how to swim through this. A man of the spirit of Yahweh outside is going to be able to maneuver through those waters, man. You see, because the counsel in the heart of man is like deep water. But I'm not going to sit here and drown with your madness. We're going to pick this, meat from the bones, if you will. We're going to swim through this, man. We're gonna wade. How do they call it? Basically, we're gonna how do they say it? You're going to suffer the storm, something like that. It slips my mind right now, but that's what we're gonna do, man. The storm of Esau's madness. We know what this is about. It's simply what you're saying is what you Esau, man. You the red people. And now the end can come. Hence, Deuteronomy 32:35, to me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Because, you should be mad and want to have vengeance for this. Take vengeance for this. You've been lied to. They've been lying about who they are. The Bible is real. They know the Bible real. And if they Esau, God hates them while they trying to teach us the Bible, while they rule over everybody, while they rule over us. And we're the people that we're God's children. So you should want to be vengeful for that through this being revealed. But the Lord says, to me belongeth vengeance and recompense, because he's pissed about this. Their foot, not everybody's, their foot shall slide in due time. Just like how majority of people ain't red. They're red. You see, their foot shall slide in due time. Right? When they get revealed, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. You see? and the Lord got his people. When you read the next verse, man. You know, he gonna come get us. He gonna judge his people, repent himself, and he gonna take us out of the state, the condition he has left. He allowed us to get subjected to. When you see our power is gone, man, and there is none else. Your power really your stiff-neckedness. You know. But anyway, Sirach 20 and 18 out in here to slip, to say their foot shall slide in due time, right? Who so-called white man? That's what happened. That's how they end gonna come. They're gonna slip up with their tongue. See? But anyway, Sirach 20 and 18. To slip upon a pavement is better than to slip with the tongue. So the fall of the wicked shall come speedily. When they what? When they slip with their tongue. So call halam la Yahweh Shmel Shai Wahara Kakodash Shalom. They know, man.